Hello dear students, good morning. My name is Harendra Tiwari from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Here in this video lecture, I brought a very interesting and fundamental concept. This is about the atoms. So, can you tell me please, which topic? This is the Bohr's model of an atom. Actually, in order to overcome the objections arises in the Rutherford atomic model, Niels Bohr did study a lot about the atom, and he performed some of the experimentation also, and he collected the evidences from some other experiment which are performed by the different scientists in the different part of the world, and on the basis of that evidences he proposed his opinion about atom. Means how the fundamental particles of the atoms are arranged inside the atoms. He explained in very well manner. Actually, Niels Bohr, he was a very good philosopher and a person who feel good to promote the scientific research. His full name Niels Henrik David Bohr. In 1913 he proposed his atomic model. Here in this class, I am going to just explain the postulates of Bohr's atomic model. Postulates. He was agreed with Rutherford with some points. First, according to him, every atom has a central nucleus which contains nucleons. The meaning of nucleons is here protons and neutrons, and surrounded by electrons. As you know that Rutherford also made the same statement. Every atom has the nucleus, and in the nucleus there are nucleons are present, that protons, neutrons, and this nucleus is surrounded by the electrons. Means we can look the atom into two parts. First is that nucleus, and apart from the nucleus where are the electrons are residing, that place is called extra nuclear part. The second statement is electrons. Actually, we know that Rutherford, he was totally blind about that how the electrons are arranged around the atoms. He told there is the only electrons are revolve around the nucleus at a circular fixed path that called the orbit, but that orbit only one or more than one. What is the energy of the orbit? What is the energy of the electrons? Rutherford did not have any answer about it. So in the same way he has started also, accepted the first point, then second point, electrons revolve around the nucleus with fixed velocity, He has calculated the velocity of electrons around the nucleus with fixed velocity. The first difference is created when he used the term fixed velocity. With fixed velocity at a circular path, which is associated with now circular path. So how this circular path? What is the characteristics property of this circular path? So which is circular path. This circular path is known as orbit. I add the point. Circular path is called orbit. Orbit is which is associated, means this orbit is associated with fixed radii and fixed energy. The term is here. This circular path is called orbit, and this circular path is associated with fixed radii, means electrons revolve around the nucleus at a circular path. This circular path is associated with fixed value of energy fixed, the radii fixed, energy fixed, radii fixed. Are you getting my point? And the electron velocity of electron velocity is also fixed. This is a fixed. An electron revolve around the nucleus with fixed velocity at a circular path. This circular path is associated with the fixed radii and with fixed energy. Are you getting this point? Now third point. There are infinite number of first let me clear about the name fixed energy. Since the energy of this एक मिनट, हाँ, since the energy of this atomic orbit is fixed, okay, that's why we call it the energy level or energy cell or stationary state. Since the energy of, or no need to write the since, I just explain, the energy of atomic orbit is fixed. So due to this, it is commonly called energy level or energy cell or stationary state. Stationary. These are the different name. This is a atomic orbit, this is the energy level, this is energy cell, this is the stationary state, because the energy of the electron is fixed here. Clear? Energy of the electron is fixed. That's why it has the different name. How many number of these stationary state? There are only one or more than one. So there are in the atom, infinite number of energy levels are present. So infinite number of energy levels are present around the nucleus. Infinite number of energy levels are present around the nucleus. So you have noted down, then I will continue other postulates. Now let us continue with the next fifth postulates. The orbit or energy level which is closest to the nucleus. Are you getting? It is termed as first orbit or first energy level or first energy cell or first stationary state. The orbit closest to nucleus, it is termed as first energy level or first energy cell or first stationary state. First, you can say first orbit means the orbit closest to the nucleus, which is termed as first energy cell, first energy level, means this is, we can write the first orbit. First orbit or first energy level or first energy cell or first stationary state. Now which is designated as the term we call, but what designation we have to give it? The first orbit and designated as K cell. Now the question why we call K cell? So here the term K is derived from a Greek word, the Greek word kernel, not a kernel, kernel. Greek word kernel, which means core, or literally we call near to the center. The first orbit which is near to the center, we call them K cell. Then second orbit, we call them after that. Then as usual, then after first cell, other cell designated as in alphabetical order after K. So after K, what will come? After K, L come. So this cell got that notice designation K cell. This cell got M cell. This cell we can say that N cell. So we follow that. First we for the first orbit we took this K word. Why not ABC? Might you have the question, sir, why not it started from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H? The reason is that the K symbol is from the word from the kernel, and kernel means near to the nucleus, near to the center or the part of the core. So we got one symbol K, and later on we have taken the symbol which is coming in alphabetical order after K, L, M, N, O, P. So the cell or orbit or energy level, we have K, L, M, N, O, so on. We have another designation for it, that is called the orbit number or principal quantum number. Principal, not principal. Principal quantum number. So K cell, this is first, so we call that this is designated by the N. Orbit number or cell number or energy level number that is commonly called the principal quantum number. What is the principal quantum number? You will learn in the 11th class. And the value of N for K is 1, L, 2, 3, 4, 5, so and so on. So numerical designation we have given to these cells. How many cells are present? So these cells are infinite number. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and infinitive. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have confusion. This is clear till here? Clear? So this was the fifth. Once again, the cell near to this orbit, commonly known as cell or energy level or orbit, energy level, energy cell or stationary state, which is near to the nucleus, we call the K cell. K, why we given the symbol K? Because K derived from word kernel, and kernel means near to the center or core of the core. Then after that, the symbol we have taken, the symbol coming in the alphabetical order after K, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Then we have given another designation also in the numerical designation, that is orbit number or energy number or cell number. Cell number, orbit number, and n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. We call it the principal quantum number as well. Oh, what is the principal quantum number? That will be learned in the class 11th. Now, 6 is on moving outwards from nucleus, the energy of different energy level or cell or orbit or stationary state is gradually increases. Means if we talk about the energy of the K cell is less than energy of L cell, is less than energy of M cell, is less than energy of N cell, so on. Energy of first orbit is less than, if N is equal to 1, less than sec 2, less than 3, less than 4, so on. Means the K which is near to the nucleus, which has the less energy, means the K cell has the lowest energy and infinite number of the cell has the highest energy. So which cell has the lowest energy? K cell has the lowest energy. Clear? Next point. That's why we call it the stationary state. Energy of a particular orbit is the fixed. That's why we call it the stationary state. Seventh point, electrons. Niels Bohr, he explained more about the electrons. Electrons present in its orbit termed as electrons present in its orbit. Suppose here the electrons present. So if electrons present in a original orbit, which is the home of the electron, where the electrons should present. So if electrons present in its orbit termed as ground state, and if it make transition from lowest energy, from ground state to higher energy state or state termed as excited state. If electrons present in that lower energy, that is the energy state, actual energy state, it is a ground state. But when electrons come from this energy to higher energy, then this state of the electron is known as excited state. Clear? And if electrons present here and it make transition from higher to lower energy state, so this is termed as de-excited state. Clear? So you note it down, then I will continue the further. Now the electron present in the first orbit, that is termed as ground state, and when it moves from first to higher, we call that excited state. That means the electron is able to make a transition from lower to higher or higher to lower. So electrons can make a transition from lower energy level to higher energy level. So how does electron make a transition? So when this electron want to move in the higher energy level, means we have to provide some energy to this electron. When this electron absorb the energy, then in that case this electron will move in the second higher energy level. Are you getting my point? If in the case of Rutherford, he didn't say anything about the energy of the electrons, means there is nothing explained about it. But here, according to Bohr's opinion, he is telling that if this electron want to make a move from higher energy level, from lower energy, then it absorb the energy from surrounding. In that case, the transition is possible, otherwise it will be remain on the same state. Energy level, higher energy level, by absorption of energy from surrounding, it is termed as excitation. So how we will find out the excitation energy? The energy required to make a transition from lower to higher, we call that excitation energy. So how we will find out the excitation energy? Suppose E energy of the first cell and E2 is the energy of the second cell. So difference of energy difference of this both cell is required to make a transition for the electron. Suppose energy of lower cell is equal to E1 and energy of higher cell E2. So excitation energy, the difference of E2 minus E1, higher minus lower. Is it clear? So the transition is possible but not as usual. We have to provide the energy. Suppose if any electrons can make a transition from higher to lower energy level by emission of energy into the surrounding. It is termed as de-excitation. The energy difference is the same as higher minus lower. Means if electrons present in this orbit number 2 L cell and it want to move in the K cell, so it can make a transition into E cell, but here it loses the energy in the surrounding by the loss of the energy radiation in the surrounding. Is it clear this point? And last postulate is that it's about the capacity of each and every orbit to hold the electrons. How many electrons can hold it by the one orbit or one cell? So the maximum number of electrons can present the possible maximum number of electron in one cell is equal to the 2n square. Now what is the 2n square? N is here number of cell 1, 2, 3, 4. For K I told that 1, L2, M3 and 4. Are you getting? Means if we want to calculate the number of electron in K cell, so as we know for K cell n is equal to 1. Clear? So according to this rule 2n square, the number of electron in K cell that will equal to 2 into 1 square, that will be 2 electron. Means K cell can hold maximum number of electron can hold it by K cell is the 2 electron. Means in K cell maximum number of electrons present 2. For L cell तो n is equal to 2, तो maximum number of electron 2n square, that is 2 into 2 square, that will equal to 8. Means L cell can have the maximum number of electron 8. Same as M cell n is equal to 3, then 2 into 3 square is equal to 18 electron. So when we talk about the M cell, it can accommodate maximum electron 18 electron. 18 electron. So let me summarize all the postulates. First of all, every atom has the nucleus, and around the nucleus there are different energy levels. The number of these energy levels are infinites. The orbit, radii, energy, everything is fixed for a particular energy level. It is known as energy level or energy cell. This is called the K and L, M, N, O, so on till infinite. K, for K value is 1, L 2, M 3, N 4, O 5, so on. This is the value of N. This is the value of n is equal to 1 for K cell, n is equal to 2 for L cell, n is equal to 3 for M cell, n is equal to 4 for N cell, n is equal to 5 for O cell. If any electrons want to make a transition from lower to higher, then it need to absorb the energy. This term is the excited state. If any electrons want to move from higher to lower, then it release the energy in the surrounding. This is called the de-excitation state. So the maximum, one cell can accommodate maximum number of electrons. So maximum possible number of electrons accommodated by any cell, that is equal to 2n square. N is the principal quantum number. So for K cell, n is equal to 1. So the number of electron in the K cell is maximum 2, 1, 2. In L cell is the 8 electron. How we calculated? N is equal to 2. So here the cell value of n and number of electron. So cell K, n is equal to, for K cell the value of n is equal to 1, number of electron 2n square, so it will be 2 electron. L value of n is 2, so 2 into 2 square, that is the 8 electron. For M 3, 2 into 3 square, that is the 18 electrons. So M cell has the 18 electron. Then N 4 16 into 2 32 electrons, and 5 25 into 2 50 electrons. So this is all about today class. In this class I explained a detailed overview of the atomic model according to Niels Bohr, and I summarized here also. So at last I tell you thank you. The PDF note today I will give, and it may be possible that the link of the PDF notes of this part you will get in the description. And the second most important point is here, you do solve the questions, some assignment question I will give in the PDF notes. So I hope you will solve that, and if any doubt you can ask to me in the comment section, or you can WhatsApp to me. So okay, wish you all the best. Enjoy your day.